Knox had always considered himself careful with words. As a diplomat's assistant, he'd spent years mastering the art of saying exactly what needed to be said, nothing more, nothing less. But all that training evaporated the moment he met Alexa. She wasn't human. That much was obvious from the moment she materialized in the embassy's conference room, her form shimmering with an otherworldly luminescence that made the fluorescent lights seem dull by comparison. Her armor, if it could be called that, appeared to be made of living metal, flowing across her shoulders and chest like liquid mercury, constantly shifting, constantly watchful. The Zentari delegation had arrived without warning, their ship appearing in Earth's orbit just 3 days prior. Alexa was their emissary, sent to negotiate terms of first contact. Knox had been assigned as her human liaison, a role he'd accepted with professional confidence. That confidence lasted approximately 45 minutes. "Your species is difficult to read," Alexa said during their third meeting, her voice like wind chimes in a summer breeze. She tilted her head, studying Knox with eyes that seemed to contain entire galaxies. "You say one thing, but your body language suggests another. Your heart rate increases when you speak of your planetary council, yet you claim to trust them." Knox shifted in his chair, acutely aware of how her alien senses could probably detect every nervous tick, every slight change in his temperature. "It's complicated. Humans are complicated. Complicated." Alexa repeated the word as if tasting it. She rose from her seat and moved closer, her armor rippling with each step. "This is the 7th time you've used this word to explain human behavior. It's becoming a pattern." "We have many patterns," Knox said, trying to maintain his composure as she invaded his personal space. Up close, he could see that her armor wasn't just protective, it was beautiful, etched with symbols that seemed to tell stories in languages he couldn't begin to comprehend. "Say what you're thinking." "Human," Alexa commanded, though her tone held more curiosity than authority. "In this moment, not what you think I want to hear, not what diplomacy requires. What are you actually thinking?" The words tumbled out before Knox could stop them. "Remove your armor." Silence crashed into the room like a physical force. Knox's face flushed hot with embarrassment, his mind racing to explain, to clarify, to somehow undo what he'd just blurted out. Of all the catastrophically stupid things he could have said to an alien emissary. But Alexa was laughing. The sound was unexpected, musical, and genuine. Nothing like the careful diplomatic responses she'd given before. Her armor shimmered more intensely, patterns swirling across its surface in what Knox realized might be the Zentari equivalent of a blush. "You surprise me, Knox of Earth," she said, still chuckling. "I asked for honesty, and you provide it so directly." "I didn't mean," Knox started, but Alexa raised a hand. "Don't retreat now. Explain. Why do you think this?" Knox took a breath, deciding that since he'd already crashed through every diplomatic protocol, he might as well continue. "Because I don't think I'm talking to the real you. That armor, it's not just physical protection, is it? It's emotional armor too. Every time I try to understand you, to connect with you as more than just representatives of our worlds, you retreat behind formal language and that perfect diplomatic mask." Alexa's expression shifted, something vulnerable flickering across her features. "You perceive more than I expected. I'm not saying you should literally remove it," Knox continued, warming to his theme now that he was committed. "I'm saying, how are we supposed to build real understanding between our species if we can't even be honest with each other? You criticize humans for being complicated, but you're just as guarded as we are." For a long moment, Alexa simply stared at him. Then, slowly, deliberately, her armor began to recede. It flowed down her arms, across her torso, pooling at her feet before disappearing entirely. What remained was unexpected. She looked more human now, vulnerable in simple clothing that resembled a tunic, but her alien nature was still evident in the slight luminescence of her skin, the way her hair seemed to float as if underwater. "Among my people," she said quietly, "removing one's armor in the presence of another is a sign of profound trust. It means you're willing to risk injury, physical or emotional, for the sake of genuine connection." Knox felt the weight of what she'd done settle over him. "I didn't know. I'm sorry if you asked for honesty, and I gave it," Alexa interrupted. "Now I ask the same of you. Why does it matter to you? Why do you want to see past my defenses?" Knox met her eyes, those galaxy-filled depths that suddenly seemed less alien and more achingly familiar. Because I think our worlds need more than a treaty. They need to see that we're not that different, that underneath all our armor, literal or metaphorical, we're both just trying to protect ourselves, while desperately hoping someone will understand us anyway. Alexa smiled, and this time it reached her eyes. Perhaps your species isn't as impossible to understand as I thought, and perhaps yours isn't as different as we feared, Knox replied. She extended her hand, palm up, in what Knox had learned was his entire gesture of partnership. He placed his hand over hers, feeling the strange warmth of her skin, the subtle vibration that hummed through her being. So, Alexa said, a hint of mischief in her voice, shall we try this again? Without armor this time? Knox grinned. I think that's the best idea either of our species has had in a while. Outside the conference room window, Earth and the Centauri ship hung in the same sky. Two worlds on the brink of something new. And inside, to people human and alien, began the real work of first contact, the vulnerable, terrifying, beautiful work of simply being honest with each other.